Dear students, in the last class we have seen all the components of motherboard. Okay? And today I will continue with general structure of motherboard. How the structure of motherboard is. In notes you can see those things. General structure. The primary function of the processor is to execute the instructions given to it and produce the results. It fetches the instruction and data from the memory and performs the required operation, which you already know. It fetches the instructions from the primary memory, that is from the RAM, and it works on those instructions one by one. Okay? And on the motherboard there are two chips. One is called North Bridge chip. Another one is called South Bridge chip. One is called North Bridge chip and another one is called South Bridge chip. What is the use of these chips? Okay, in the motherboard, these two chips are placed to control different devices connected or located on the motherboard. On the motherboard there are different devices are located or components are located, and all those components are controlled by these two chips, North Bridge, South Bridge. And this North Bridge is to control the faster devices and the South Bridge is to control slower devices. Faster devices. Which are faster devices? Processor, that is also called as CPU, RAM, chipset, bus. These things are called faster components, and to control those faster components there will be North Bridge. And there are slower components, maybe hard disk drive, network card, sound card. All those things are controlled by South Bridge. That means South Bridge is to control slow devices, North Bridge is to control faster devices. In the last class I have shown all the components. Just today I will explain one by one and then we will continue with the next topics. The first component is processor. Processor is to process all the instruction. Processor is to process all the instruction. It is also called as CPU. That is the first component. Second component is clock speed. Clock speed is to measure the processor's performance. The processor's performance we will check by using clock speed. And the clock speed is given in the hertz, maybe megahertz, gigahertz, and that is called operating speed of a processor. To find out the operating speed of a processor, we will use clock speed. And another one is BIOS. Basic input-output system. BIOS. Basic input-output system. Why it is needed? When we switch on a computer, some components are needed even to install operating system in the computer. Without that, installation is also not possible. Maybe for example keyboard or mouse. These things are needed even to install some operating system on a computer. Without that, moving is not possible. Working with the computer is not possible. And for that purpose, they have given BIOS. There will be BIOS chip on the motherboard. What it makes? When you switch on a computer, first it will check keyboard, mouse or some other devices are connected to CPU or not. That it will check. Then even it will check the working area of a user. Working area of a user is RAM. Random access memory is called working area of a user. Even it checks whether the RAM is working properly or not. And this process is called as power on self-test, post process. Power on self-test. When you switch on a computer, automatically it will check everything is connected to CPU or not. That means when all the things are connected, then only it will be treated as a computer. So it will check whether all the devices are connected or not. And that thing will be made by BIOS. Power on self-test process. Okay. The fourth thing is, even in the BIOS, there will be one more thing called bootstrap or bootstrapper. Bootstrap is one more component which is on the BIOS. After checking all the devices, it checks or it loads operating system. That means it initiates the operating system. And that thing we will call it as a bootstrap routine. And that bootstrap routine also in the BIOS. That means BIOS is nothing but post process plus bootstrap. Post process checks all the components related to computer. Bootstrap process starts loading the operating system. That means it initializes the working of a computer. Since we need operating system to start working with the computer, then you can use all other application. But in the beginning we need OS, and that process is initiated by bootstrap. Then the fourth one, the fourth component is CMOS. The full form of CMOS is complementary metal oxide semiconductor. Complementary metal oxide semiconductor. In notes you can see those things. Complementary metal oxide semiconductor. Why this thing is needed? As I said, to initiate the things we need BIOS, and to store date or to keep track of time and to keep track of some system setup process, we need CMOS. And this BIOS and the CMOS are two things, and even though the power is not on, or even though the computer is in off state, then also we need CMOS as well as BIOS. Since when you switch on, automatically it has to start. And the time and date must be on every time. And for that purpose, there will be separate shell to keep track of the date and time. And that shell we will call it as a lithium ion shell or battery. Even for digital watch, the same type of shell will be there or battery will be there. And on the motherboard, there will be one battery or shell, and that is needed to keep these things on, maybe BIOS and CMOS. Fifth one is slots. In the last class, I have explained there are two types of slots. One is ISA, Industrial Standard Architecture, and second one is PCI, Peripheral Component Interconnect. Peripheral Component Interconnect, PCI. And these two are called slots. AGP slot, that is to place graphic card. AGP accelerated graphic port. Okay, in this way there are three type of slots on the motherboard or on the main board. ISA in the beginning it was too big, and PCI it was short with white color, and the AGP which will be in the black color commonly, and these slots are used to expand the devices on the motherboard, or to keep new devices or to take new devices on the motherboard. Then the sixth one, is RAM slot. On the motherboard there will be RAM slot. By that you can place RAM on the motherboard. As I said, RAM is a working area of a user. To work with the computer we need RAM, random access memory. There are two types of RAM, SIM, and another one is DIMM. SIM and DIMM. Single inline memory module, first one. Second one, double inline memory module. Presently we are using DIMM, double inline memory module. Then seventh one is processor slot. On the motherboard there will be processor slot. By that we can put processor. Yesterday I have shown that thing. Next one is eighth one, disk controller. Disk controller is needed to control all the external peripheral devices, commonly hard disk, and then earlier there was floppy drive. Hard disk drive controller. Even the earlier there was a storage device called floppy. There will be floppy disk drive controller. Ninth one is I/O ports and interfaces. I/O ports and interfaces. I/O ports and interfaces. So in the motherboard, yesterday I have shown those things. On the back side, there will be input-output ports. Input-output ports are used to connect all the external devices like printer, keyboard, mouse, scanner, etc. And for that purpose we will use I/O ports. And even the interfaces. There will be two types of interfaces or two types of ports, serial and parallel. There will be serial interface and parallel interface. Serial interface is slow interface. It will transfer the information one bit at a time. But the parallel interface transfers the information 8 bits per second. So parallel is faster compared to serial. And the serial, commonly there will be, in the earlier part there was mouse, parallel ports, which is commonly used to connect printer. Another one is USB, Universal Serial Bus Port, and it is nowadays commonly used port. Common ಆಗಿ USB ಅನ್ನೇ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. Commonly used port nowadays, and which is commonly used to connect all the external devices. Whichever external devices are there, we are using USB. That means maybe the scanner, maybe the light pen, joystick, gamepad, even the input device, output, whether it is keyboard, mouse, printer, all these things. Nowadays even the monitors are with USB power. Okay, and it will take just 5 volt. That's the advantage of USB port. It can transfer nearly 12 megabits per second. And you can connect nearly 120 to 127 devices to USB. That means it supports nearly 120 to 127 different devices in one computer. That is the advantage of USB, Universal Serial Bus. That's why the more common the port is USB nowadays. And there will be another port called PS bar 2. That is called as Personal System port. Personal System bar 2 port. It was introduced by IBM, International Business Machine Corporation. This PS bar 2 commonly on the desktop, on the back side of desktop, maybe to connect keyboard and mouse. To connect keyboard and mouse, we will use PS bar 2. Okay, but in some desktop there will be only USB. But in some desktop, earlier desktop, there will be PS bar 2 to connect keyboard and mouse. And there will be IDE port to connect the hard disk. Integrated Development Environment. Integrated Development Environment to connect the hard disk. IDE port. And there will be AGP port. Accelerated Graphic port. And then sometimes there may be VGA port. Video Graphic Array or Visual Graphic Adapter. Visual Graphic Adapter port, which is used to connect monitor. Then there will be Ethernet port. Ethernet port, which is used to connect LAN cable. LAN cable, that means when we are connecting one computer to another computer, when many number of computers are connected in one organization, then there will be the cable which is used are maybe coaxial or maybe some other cable, and to connect one computer to another computer we will use LAN cable, and for that purpose we will use Ethernet port to connect one computer to another computer when we are making the network system. ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಒಂದು ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಥವಾ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಒಂದು ಕಡೆ ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ಕಡೆ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಫಾರ್ ದಟ್ ಪರ್ಪಸ್ ವಿ ವಿಲ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಈಥರ್ನೆಟ್ ಪೋರ್ಟ್. ದೆನ್ ದೇರ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ MIDI port. And this MIDI port is to connect, that is called as Musical Instrument Digital Interface. Musical Instrument Digital Interface, and which is used to connect commonly the musical devices. Last component is bus. Bus is to connect one device to another device, maybe on the motherboard. There are two types of buses, internal bus and external bus. Internal bus and external bus. The internal bus is used to connect the internal devices like processor and RAM. Processor and RAM. Even this internal bus is also called as system bus. Another one is external bus. As I said, there will be another bus called external bus, which we will use to connect I/O ports, that means input-output devices, network devices, okay, and then other expansion slots, all the expansion slots, and maybe hard disk, or all those things. There will be external bus. The system bus consists of three types. One is called control bus, and another one is called address bus, and another one is called data bus. That means in the system bus or in the internal bus, again there are three types: control bus, address bus, and the data bus. Data bus is to transfer the data from the CPU and memory. CPU to memory. Data bus is to transfer the data from CPU to memory. And the address bus is to connect CPU and RAM. That means the CPU and RAM are connected by using address bus. And the control bus to access this data and address line. That means to control all the things or all the operations. Okay, that means the address bus as well as data bus are managed by control bus. Okay, that's the concept of these three buses: control bus, address bus, data bus. Thank you, students. In the next class, we will continue with the parts.